Welcome back to the Adventures of Mac and Anthea and part 3 of our Northern Spain adventures. Unfortunately, you rejoin us during one of the lows of our adventures where things start to go wrong and we struggle to pull things back onto course. Okay, so we've just headed down to the top end of the Peaks of Europa. We've just stopped to redo our waste and everything and fill up with water because we could be in this up to sort of 3 or 4 days and there's no more service points down here once you get down into it. We were a bit early again. Unfortunately, it's Saturday, so we really want to go and find somewhere to plat up, and hide until sort of Monday morning because it's just been far too busy here. Now, there's meant to be a place around the corner, so we're going to go investigate that first, see what that's like, and if not, we might have to retrace our steps out a little way and just find a Greenleaf lay-by. Apologies for the wind if it's hitting the mic. We overshot where we were going to park, or it looked pretty narrow anyway after we left the motorhome service point. We continued down the road to try and find some parking. We finally found somewhere where we could actually stop and turn around, and do what we need to do. Unfortunately, that was 22 kilometres down that road, and we've got to retrace our steps back up it, basically. Okay, so we have thought about going a bit further, sort of this way behind me. Down this road, there's a place called Potes there, but we've looked at several parking areas, and there's sort of been bad reports, people getting stones thrown at the vans, a couple of reports of that, and then people being boxed in by locals, abused by locals. So we don't need that. We'll take our van, we'll take our money somewhere else. So we're going to go back, retrace our steps. Problem is, there's a lot of roadworks, and there's a lot of arse-clenching moments on the way down. I'll get Anthea to film them on the way back, but it is quite a spectacular view. You're going up through a real narrow gorge, so we'll film that and the roadworks on the way back up, and we'll make our way back actually to that motorway service point. And I'm thinking I'm tired, I probably won't want to be bothering looking around, so I think if it's not too bad there, we may spend the night there. Okay, so we made it back. We're all in one piece. We sort of parked up in the middle. Never thought I'd be so glad to actually end up in a motorhome park up, which I normally hate. But it's safe. Hopefully, this road here behind us is going to be quiet later on at night, and we just get settled down. Because even though it wasn't a particularly long stretch of road, with it being like that, it was quite tiring to drive. So I think we're going to settle down for the night, and I'll bring you back in the morning. Good morning, and welcome back to day 15. We're just going out for a quick morning walk. We're leaving the motorhome service point park up behind us. At the risk of turning into Mac's morning moan again like it did last year, we had a horrendous night's sleep there. We was expected to be bad, but it exceeded expectations. We was expecting sort of people to be turning up till about 12 o'clock at night. They finally stopped turning up and making a noise a little after 2 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, we've had very little sleep, and that's the second time in a row. And this is a point where things start to go wrong. We desperately need to find a quiet park up where we can get a decent night's sleep. Otherwise, it gets past this, it gets difficult to start pulling things back. Okay, that's not a good start again. We just had to backtrack down that path. The map showed that there was a path running sort of parallel to this busy road. As you can hear behind us. Idiot. And then opposite this sort of turn we're going down in a minute, but obviously not. We've been up the trail and it's not there, so... Okay, so we were on the right route. It is a proper path, but someone's decided to chain it up at the top there, so you can't get through. So that's why we saw the chain gate and had to go back. Okay, that's answered that question. So anyway, back to what I was saying. We're sort of on the tipping point, and we've been here before last year when we were on our Northern Spain adventures. You get a couple of nights tired, and you struggle to do what needs to be done on these trips. The process of doing this is a constant search of park for the night as a last resort, and then sort of searching Google Earth, Google Street to try and find decent park-ups. It's quite tedious, it's quite long-winded, and it's not easy to do when you're tired. So the longer you go without a decent night's sleep, trying to find a decent park-up to get a decent night's sleep, the harder it is to carry on going through that process, and it gets to be a bit of a vicious circle to the point in the end where you give up and you just go home, which is what we did last year. So we're out on our morning walk, we're down by the river, and we sort of run through the things our options. We haven't had a great deal of success. The coast seems to be a lot busier, obviously in season, between Santander and Oviedo than it was the other side last year when we came. So we're sort of thinking, we probably need to scrap this side of the coast. Also, we're starting to think that sort of going down to the Picos Europa and doing a walk called the Ruta del Cares, or similar to that, which is a famous popular walk. We think that's going to be a bust. I mean, there is some parking there and the start point and a little shuttle bus that takes you down to the start, but I suspect the park up will end up being similar to this one. Probably not as bad because it's not a service point, but it's a 24 kilometre journey on a not particularly good road. And to go all that way down there, not to get a decent night's sleep, not be able to do the walk because we're too tired, which is quite demanding, and then have to come all the way back again, we're thinking no. I think the odds of us getting down there, getting a good night's sleep and be able to do the walk are probably 80 to 20 against. So off the top of my head. So we're going to bin that, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to try and get out of here. We saw a few green leaf lay-bys on the way in here, see if we can get into them and get parked up and hopefully get a good night's sleep tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Monday. We'll start afresh, get on the road, and we'll follow the coast up just in case we do see anything park up wise. But I think probably we're going to start heading our way down to Proaza, which is far from being perfect as well, but it's a hell of a lot better than here. So okay, I think we'll finish the moan and start enjoying some of this scenery that we're walking along. So that's our next beautiful river. You can hire kayaks, rigid kayaks from here. A bit further up, we'll probably see that in a bit. And understand this path will follow us all the way along the river to the main old bridge. Well, it's beautiful down here. I think you can hear me say this several times on this trip. This would be a great place to come at a season. All these places would. We're here in season. We've got little choice because the number one objective of this trip is to get out of the Andalusian heat. And of course that's in July and August. So, that's when we're going to be up here. The rest of the year we've got things to do. We can't be bumming around the coastal areas of Spain. So this is an opportunity to get a break and also sort of make some videos as well, because it's a working holiday. Get them up online, and just a way of basically carry on working and staying active through the July and August months, rather than just sitting in front of the air conditioning. Okay, so we've come upon a little recreation area, looks like a football area opposite the river. So incidentally, this river we're following here is the River Cares, and that was going to be where we were going to do this walk, sort of 24 kilometres away on the Picos de Europa. It's a very famous walk, probably this is the best walk maybe, but it is quite demanding. Now, on the face of it, it's sort of 12 kilometres from one village to another, sort of through a pass, and sort of following the gully along. So, on the face it's not too bad. You should be able to walk 12 kilometres, especially as it's fairly flat. But here's the catch. Once you get going down it, you've got to come back out of it. There's no phoning mummy to come and pick you up halfway along or anything, because there's absolutely no roads to this route. So you've got to do the 12 kilometres to this next village where there's no accommodation, there's no real taxis or anything to get you out of there. Now, if you were to get a taxi, call it, to pick you up at the other end, the road route is nearly 100 kilometres. There's two road routes going to east and one to the west, and both of them are nearly 100 kilometres round, as opposed to the 12 kilometre walk through the centre. So the bottom line is, whatever you're walking down into this gully, you've got to walk back. If you do the full 12 kilometres in to 6 routes, you've basically got to walk the full 12 kilometres back. And if you can't, you've got a problem, because no one's coming to pick you up. So we're thinking, original plan was we'd probably go and walk halfway down it, 6 kilometres or so, and then turn back round and come back. That was the plan. But we're not even seeing that happening now. And we've got up ahead another VC Gothic church. Seen quite a few of them up here in Canterbury and the Asturias. We're going to have a quick look around the church. Particularly interesting these churches are. These are some of the oldest churches in Spain. When you first think of it, you don't realise why, but when you actually sit down and put some thought into it, the Moors actually invaded the southern Spain in 711 and pushed sort of all the Christians and that up north, and a lot of them resettled in sort of Canterbury and the Asturias. Now these churches, these date back to about between 8 and 900 AD, so they're very old. You know, I mean, there's older churches in the UK, but only not by much, a couple of hundred years old. And these are dotted around all over. They're quite what they call VC Gothic. They've got quite distinctive sort of arches up there on the roof. They often have the bells in them. Sometimes even have steps going up to the bells where they actually manually ring them. But yeah, I find it's particularly interesting. Okay, I'll stand corrected on this one. This one was actually 1184 according to the sign back there. But still pretty old. They're lovely, there's lots of them all around. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing, that. Okay, so we've just come up those steps there. We've actually got a path on the other side of the road here, which is handy. Probably should have started there, actually. That walked in a full loop all the way round. As we were saying hello to people on one side, we were saying hello again to them on this side, as they were going in the opposite direction. So we can see the wondrous Motorhome service point. So we're going to go top up our waist, empty our waist, because it's probably last time for a while, and get out of this horrible place. Good morning and welcome back to day 16 of our Northern Spain adventure. As you probably recall, for what I said yesterday, we were going to travel along, try and find a lay-by and then probably explore the coast. But we went along and we changed our plans. We set our sat-nav to actually take us to Proaza, which is sort of south of Oviedo. And we thought if there's anything en route, we'll take that, and if there isn't, we'll just keep going. We did actually end up in Proaza. I think it's something like 165 kilometre journey. And we've actually been here before, so that's going to basically conclude our new exploration into sort of that area we hadn't been before, in between Oviedo and Santander. Okay, so I'm going to cut myself off at this point because I start to rattle on about, you know, the pros and cons of different places and that. And I think what I'm going to do at the end of these videos, a series of videos in northern Spain, I will actually do a separate video on the sort of pros and cons, where we visited it, whether we liked it or not, why we didn't like it, all that sort of thing. So I think that's probably something that, you know, needs to be done at the end after you've seen all the series of these videos. So here we go, back to Mac. So okay, what I'm going to do then, after the sort of the moany bit of it, and I'm going to turn you around and we'll talk about this park up. So this is our park up. As you can see here, it's absolutely beautiful. We're down in the bottom of a valley here. You see, it'll give you sort of a 360 view all the way round. High mountains all the way round. Now we're parked at the recreation area here. Actually 2 kilometres down the road there is a motorhome service point with a nice little area a bit further back off the road for motorhomes. We wanted a really quiet night, and to be honest, we like to stay out of the way of everybody as well. So we're parked here. We parked right in the corner here. It's not perfect, you know. You've probably heard the noise of the traffic in the background. This road is sort of pretty busy nearly all day, but gets about half 11, 12, and it quietens right down. There's hardly a car goes across it until about 6:30, 7 in the morning. So I can live with that. Okay, so what have we got planned here? Well, today we're going to chill out. We had a really good night's sleep last night, which after the 2 nights before we'd had a really bad night's sleep, you know, was great. You know, we slept really well, and we had one other car coming in, admittedly again, 11:15 again, came in. They slept in their car, but they, you know, sort of after about half an hour, they sorted their lives out and they got their heads down, and we managed to get our heads down. But yeah, we've had a good night's sleep here, so we're going to chill out today, hopefully get another good night's sleep again tonight, and then we're going to go and do the walk. Now, we're going to take you along for the walk, although I think it's probably going to be a separate video. Well worth seeing. This is an excellent walk. It's a really very varied terrain up through the mountains. One of the pathways is actually chopped through the cliff, you know, around the edge of the cliff of a mountain all the way round the actual walk through it. It's really spectacular. So we're going to go and do that tomorrow, and that's going to be our first activity here. It's Monday today. We're going to probably do some bike rides as well, some that we've done before and some new ones. And then at the weekend, when it starts to get busy up here, I think what we're going to do then is we're going to move out of this area a bit, up into the mountains a bit, to like a parking point right at the top of some of the mountains, so we can have a completely peaceful weekend, because it can get a little busy here. Okay, so here we go. Just leaving Hobbit behind in the car park. Goodbye, Hobbit. Hopefully he'll be alright and he'll still be able to get back. We're going to pass the other main car park in a minute and see how smoothly it gets in there. So yeah, right choice to park in that sort of overflow car park there. And so we started this walk, which turned out to be a hell of a lot more demanding than we expected. Of course, as usual, we got lost due to a lack of signage. And when we did eventually find the path down from the mountains, the descent was very steep, slippery and rugged, which played havoc with both our knees. Despite this, it was a spectacular trail and well worth the time and effort it took to do it. I've got to say I feel quite bad about dragging poor Anthea along on this one. At the top of this step, and I think I'm going to stop and help Anthea up this one. You around there somewhere? No, you're not there. You're having to sleep in the hedgerow. Poor long-suffering Anthea regularly falls foul of my bright ideas and many of my not-so-bright ideas, and she certainly suffered on this walk. In the end, Anthea's legs turned to jelly and she couldn't walk another step. I left her at the start of the trail in the opposite direction and continued on with the last 1.2 kilometres to go and collect the Hobbit, and then drove it up to pick her up. Okay, I'm back. Check this Muppet out. What a effing idiot. Thankfully I expected some Muppet to do something like that. There's no way I could pull out there forwards. But in anticipation of that, I left space behind. Not enough for anyone to park in one without, so that I can reverse and get out. And thank God I did. I managed to pick Anthea up, and not a moment too soon. You know what they say, just when you think things can't get any worse? Well, they certainly did, and we were damn lucky not to get caught out in this. We experienced several of these unforecast thunderstorms whilst we stayed in this area. They were certainly great to see after all the dryness and the heat of Andalusia, but we certainly didn't want to get caught out in the middle of them. Please check out the separate video I've made of this walk. I'll link it in at the end of this video. See if you can make it to the end. We nearly didn't. Good morning and welcome back to day 18 of our Northern Spain adventure. It's the day after the walk we did right up into the mountains. We're not aching anything, and we've had a good night's sleep, but we still feel pretty tired. So today's going to be a day where we actually just do a bit of editing and sort of housekeeping around the motorhome. First order of the day, sort of get packed up, go into Proaza, get a new gas bottle because that's sort of on its last dregs now, and a bit of shopping. Then we're going to just return back to, like I say, I'll get on with the editing, I'll do a bit of housekeeping, and I'm going to prepare the bikes as well, because tomorrow, hopefully, if we feel up to it, we're going to go and do the Senda d'Osso, the Way of the Bear, which we'll actually see some bears on. Unfortunately, due to dull weather, we had to scrap this plan as the batteries for the e-bikes weren't charged enough from the solar power. And so, yet again, it was on to plan B. Good morning and welcome back to day 19 of our Northern Spain adventure. Today we were meant to be going on the Senda d'Osso, but we're going to have a bit of a change of plan. Firstly, if you look around, you see the weather's quite bad. It's sort of 1 minute saying, yes, it's going to rain today, then it's not going to rain, then it is going to rain. So it isn't really sure about the weather. We've had a couple of unforecast storms the past few days as well. When we went for the walk, we came back, we got our showers, and then just sort of got settled down, and then we had torrential rain, which wasn't forecast at all. So the walk could have been a lot worse as well. That would have really topped it off. So now we're on to plan C. Plan C is, because we've got a fiesta, it's going to be Friday tomorrow. The fiesta starts in the town nearby. It's going to be the weekend here. You can see it's already starting to busy up a little bit. We're going to run for the hills. And we're going to travel probably about 20 minutes down the road, a bit further inland, up into the mountains, probably about 1,000 metres higher than here, to a park up right high up in the mountains. And I've got sort of a little bicycle ride up there planned to go all the way along the peaks. It basically hits probably about 2 or 3 major peaks along the top, right up into the mountains. I'm expecting the views to be tremendous. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to get packed up and set up ready to travel. We'll get on our way, and then when we arrive at the next location, I'll bring you back in. So we started our journey, did a quick service stop, and then continued up into the mountains, climbing and climbing until eventually we started to disappear into the cloud. Unfortunately, no matter how secluded any spot you go to is, there's never a shortage of Muppets doing stupid things. Okay, so we're here. What do you think of the view? Yeah, we're sat on the cloud. Anyway, it's meant to be rain tomorrow, so it's like an editing day, and then it's going to clear up, and you can't see it now. I'll show you later on. There's actually a trail opposite taking you up onto mountain peaks. They're actually cycling up here, and they got up right behind a few of them before I actually realised they were there. Probably not the wisest day to be cycling on the road up here, but hey ho, what can you do? Right, so I think we'll leave it there, and I'll bring you back on in the morning. Good morning and welcome back. It's day 20. If you wonder what's happened to day 19, that was yesterday, and that was spent sat in the cloud all day. As you can see behind, it's a completely different kettle of fish today. The cloud started to lift. It's lifted from on top of here, and we're left with actually being sat above the cloud in our park up. Now, park up, let's see if I can spin you around, is in this parking area behind. I think I've got it there. Let's spin you around a bit more here. Yeah. So there's a hobbit over there sat on the edge. I'll do a bit of filming over there in a bit as well. We've had a good weekend, pretty quiet. First night here, which was Thursday night, we shared it with a German motorhome. Came at a decent time, didn't make any noise at night, so that was fine. Last night we had 2 other motorhomes turned up. Same thing again, reasonable people, came at a reasonable time. Didn't make a load of noise after dark. So yeah, that was all fine, we all slept great. So today, now we've finally got all this cloud all lifted, we're looking like we're going on a bicycle ride. We're going to get, I'm up, we're going to have some breakfast. I've got to adjust Anthea's gear slightly, they're starting to rattle a bit, so just to tighten the cable on that a little bit. And then I think we're going to get on our way. In a minute I'll take you back up to the motorhome and I'll show you the route we're going to take. Good morning, welcome back to the Adventures of Mac and Anthea. You join us as we're up in the high mountains of the Asturias, and we're about to go on a bicycle ride. Now just to quickly spin you around, if you can be able to see. In that, over there opposite, takes us further up into the mountains and along the mountain ridges to various peaks. It's about 7 kilometres, so it's not a really long bike ride, but hopefully it should be quite an enjoyable one with amazing views. So without further ado, let's get on with the ride. And we're off. So we're right through the end of the car park where we're parked. We're just going to hang a quick left here, and then dead opposite our parking sort of where the motorhome is there. We're just going to take a right. Come on, Monty, not out of the way. Right, straight into it, into the climb. We're hoping to save battery today because we're going to go on the Sender also tomorrow. It isn't looking likely if this started anything to go by all the way up here. Right, we can only do what we can do. Okay, that's looking good. It's looking to a good start. Despite it actually saying this was going to be asphalt on Google Maps. Well, yeah, we're straight on to assist level 7. Views are spectacular. Look at that. Yeah. Okay, so temperatures today are going to be 18 degrees, so really low up here, mainly due to the altitude. Although I suspect it's going to be fairly humid. We've been sat in clouds, we've had quite a bit of rain, or you call it rain, it's drizzle, really low cloud, keeping things wet. And now the sun's on us, so obviously we need that promoter and the solar. Obviously that is going to make the whole thing a bit humid. Morning, Carl. Wow, that was pretty steep. God, puffing despite having power assist. Alfie's right behind her, or right behind me, keeping up well. Oh, we're right above the clouds. I'll get to this top bit in a minute and I have to stop and give you a view of this because it's amazing. Okay, we're just going to have to stop here and take some footage because it's amazing.
Oh, wow.
Oh, we're puffing even though for those steep bits of power assist 8, it's a while since I've had to use that. We're puffing, but we're running the Barfang 750 as usual. Anthony's got 9. A 9-speed cassette, I've got a 10-speed cassette, so the bikes aren't even feeling it.
Oh, glad I ain't got to walk up it.
Yeah, damn right. Okay, that's stopped. Let's get the better camera out and take some footage. Oh, sorry, still puffing a bit. Okay, so I want to take the footage from here because it's spectacular. I wanted to go up to the top, but I'm thinking if we did, we'd probably have that actually blocking out this view. No doubt it's going to be spectacular view after spectacular view anyway, but it's truly amazing. Okay, and we've just walked over to here from where the bikes are parked there, where I just took the previous footage, and look at this. Yeah, absolutely amazing. And the cloud you can see over there has actually looked even more solid than that earlier on. Also got some drone footage as well, which hopefully will come out great. Okay, easy start there on the steep incline. This is when the actual throttle stops being a dangerous illegal feature and starts actually being a safety feature, what it should really be used for. You know, pulling away on the slope from a standstill so you're not going into that dangerous wobble. And probably getting across roads quickly from a standstill on busy roads as well, it comes in well handy. Okay, so onwards and upwards. Morning cows, morning horses. So up at the top here, don't know if we've got a shed here or a refuge. Now it looks like some sort of a camper's refuge here. Yeah, it's lovely. Oh, what a great spot. You definitely get away with a little crafty wild camp up here, I reckon.
I don't like the look of that.
Yeah, it doesn't look likely, does it? That
It
one?
goes all round, I don't know.
Okay, time for a recce. Stop and get off. We're playing this game again today. Okay, quick little recce from here. We're not liking the look of this. We could see, probably can't see it on the camera, but we could see where the trail goes up. And actually on Google Maps it did mark what looked like concrete and then a little bit of gravel. Turns out the concrete was gravel and a little bit of mud. There are some markers on here. I can see someone's tied a bit of a yellow ribbon, a bit of tape there. So it looks like this was probably the right way to go. There is actually another bit that cuts out this first section and joins another road, but that was so beautiful, that first section, I wouldn't have wanted to cut that out. Yeah, we've got this tape all over, so I am thinking this is the way, this is the route. See any more tape down there? This doesn't look good, this doesn't, so I will check round the other way slightly from that top area, but I'm thinking probably we may have to backpack if that is a different route through. I think I just about see the trail in the distance over there. I won't try and point to it, but I'll put it on arrows later. And it looks okay, but yeah, we don't want another day of dramas like we had the other day on the walk. So yeah, I'll go back up to the top. I'll quickly check out the sort of right hand fork, and then what we'll do is we'll make a decision. I don't think this is going to be an option down here. It's just, you know, we're going to be pushing the bike for long periods of time, and like we said in videos before, you know, the whole idea is just to ride the bikes, not for the bikes to ride us and be messing about, you know. Anthea's laughing at me, puffing away here. I'll make her go next time. Oh God. Okay, so that definitely isn't a Mac Anthea route down there. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to get up to this little sort of refugee hut, you know, forest refuge. I'm going to get Google Maps out, we're going to retrace our steps and get it to take us to the exact turning that takes us up the roadway, which hopefully you can probably see up there in the distance, and we'll take the roadway up. It's a shame, but we can't have another day like we had the other day walking. Okay, so back up to the refuge. Find a bit of shade so I can see the screen of the bone. This is beautiful up here, mind. It's worth coming up here anyway just to see all this. I don't mind this on this occasion that we've got to go back. Anthea's already here, found the shade. So we've really not to have a quick look around this little place while we're here. None of it's locked or open. So let's see. Yep, that certainly is locked, well and truly locked. Yeah, so no doubt you probably need a key from the Ayuntamiento or something for that to be opened up. Or maybe it's only open in sort of winter months as a refuge, maybe. Because you can certainly get a tent out around here. There's loads of flat areas, sort of sheltered all around it, which is probably why they've built this here. It's sort of in a little bowl at the top. Okay, so phone out in this little shaded bit here so I can see the screen. We'll quickly locate the entrance on Google Maps, and then we'll use Google Maps just to get us to that point, and then we'll follow the trail from there. Okay, so we're just going to retrace our steps back down. From here to actually the other turning off the main road, going up into the mountains, it's only 2.3 kilometres, so it's not the end of the world, and it isn't the first time we've played this game. Okay, I'm just going to wait here for Anthea. She's being sensible, you know, if you're not sure, just get off and walk, you know, why risk an accident? As usual, you're not going to get an idea of the camera, you know, how steep that is. But that is pretty steep, you know. As we were powering up there, or as I was powering up there on my bicycle, the front end of the bicycle, you know, was trying to leave the ground because of the pressure on the pedals and the motor, and it's caused us so much wheelie. So yeah, it's pretty damn steep. Okay, there she comes. Okay, so this is dodgy again, this bit. We're just coming back up to the parking where Hobbit is. It is a little bit of a pain having to go back on our tracks and go around the other way, but I don't regret going up there because it was very pretty and there was some great viewpoints there. So, we should be back to this road. Okay, and we're left here. Turns out Google Maps works a lot better with the volume on your phone.
Continue on AS 230 for 1 kilometre.
So, if you did that 1 kilometre to go, not ever so keen on going on these roads, you sort of got all the loons whizzing around, but it's only a kilometre, so I'm sure we'll be fine. Okay, so we've just heard from, this is Google Maps. You can actually see the sign there, so yeah, here on our left, and we arrive at the destination. I only marked the entrance of it with it, so we'll indicate we have arrived. Right, and here we go. Yeah, we're just going to whiz up here the long way, so that's it, just dropped it a couple of gears. It's a good thing about having a 10-speed cassette and a mid-drive. You get so much more out of your battery because, you know, you've got the motor driving the gears, so you can go into a lower gear, a larger cog, and make it a lot easier on the motor. Makes your battery go a hell of a lot further. So here on our left, I reckon, is where we would have come out if we stuck with that trail. But that would have taken hours and wouldn't have been fun. Yeah, not sure it's fairly a van track. Oh, we're just going higher and higher. Round the next bend. We'll just be round the next bend. But no. Okay, went quite well up there. Really a quite steep bit again. Still only in sort of fourth gear, but the largest cog on my cassette is only about 40 smaller than my front one. So it really is good, you know, for low ratio getting up these hills, which is specifically what I built it for. Okay, we've got a Calgary coming up, and I don't think we're far off actually being to the top of the first section. So as far as I know, we carry on a bit further to the next peak. I think this is probably the first point. Good old drop there around to our right. Yeah, don't want to get that long. Alright for cars, but I reckon I could get between those gaps in that barrier. Now I'm thinking we're near the top of the first section, but I think we're going to go around the bend and it's just going to be keep going. Yep. And this time Anthea's waiting for me. Probably just making sure I didn't go down the fast way on that bend back there. Okay, I'm just going to quickly stop here and take a shot of this for you. It looks quite cool. You know, sort of a little reservoir there down below. Yeah, the cows all bathing in it and drinking. Yeah. Okay, let's catch on through. It's great again, pulling away from these. Can't tell these steep on these steep bits with the throttle. I'm down to 3 bars on the battery after all that. But to be fair, it wasn't fully charged. We just couldn't get there with the way the actual, you know, the solar was. Yeah, not really for cars, is it, mate? Not really. Talk about cars, but the ones we've really got to watch out for is the Lycra Lunis coming down. More Lycra Lunis. And yeah, another bend we go round. I think I saw a little viewpoint up above us a minute ago, so we might stop there for a break. Anthea's caught me up. Did I have 2 bars?
Yeah.
Oh dear, I'm on 3. So they didn't charge that well, did they? Because normally with this even coming up here wouldn't bother them that much. Okay, this climb just seems to go on and on. Okay, so I think I see the end in sight, that area up the top there. So quite a lot of cows brought up here, they're all free grazing. Down below there, if you can see them. Little corral there for them at night, I suppose. So you've got to be a bit careful. There's about 300 bears, I think, up in the Australias, and a couple of thousand wolves. It looks like even more cows up ahead blocking the road. Oh, we're down to 2 bars. It's serious stuff, and Anthea's right up. Gosh, she's right on her way. Just see her going around the corner in the distance. Old Speedy. Hello, cows. That's it, eat the car. I'll teach them. Some babies. Yeah, that's sweet. Alright, buddy, not gonna hurt you. God, look at that view. We must be high. I'll find out how high it is and I'll write it out in the description. Not in the description, I'll put in the subtitles when we get up the top. So I've just rounded the corner again and we're still going higher. There's I can see the road up to the final bits of the aerials there. Oh, the views are stunning, but I'm going to wait until we get to the top so I can give you a proper look and get the drone up as well. Just coming up to a bit here, and I seem to remember this bit, a picture of actually a motorhome parked on this bit and it being recommended on park for the night. Yeah, not right. Not a good road to come up in a motorhome. Maybe a Volkswagen van, you know. But yeah, not on the big motorhome. Are we? Are we? No. Phew. Check that. Amazing. I think we're about there. I don't know how far we can get up to this, whether we can see down both sides or whether there's going to be closed gates. And we'll have to come back to this sort of car park on the left. No, there's a parking area. Que pasa, muy fácil. Muy fácil, muy fácil. Yeah, go on then. Yeah, your camera. So we're right up by the antennas there. You see everything below. We're actually higher than the cloud in the distance there. We are going to do some drone footage, but I think we'll get a bit away from these aerials a bit just in case you interfere with the drone. I don't want to cause any damage up here. Got 2 guys up here who've just come up on their racer bikes. Fair play. 1,771 metres above sea level. To be honest, not particularly high by our standards, sometimes down in Andalusia. I mean, the peak is actually above our village, which we bicycled up to a while back when we tested Anthea's bike. There's a separate video on that. It's 1,550 above sea level. Our village is 700 above sea level. And the mountain, which you probably regularly see if you follow the channel, from the back of our farmhouse in the distance, Tatica, is 2,080 metres. So even though it's high and it feels high, it's not high by over, you know, mountain standards in the southern part of Spain. Although I've got to say, where we live, it isn't quite as dramatic as that. Okay, so Anthea's done the honours with the chairs today. We're going to stop and have a sit down, taking the views, have a few sandwiches. Did the drone work, but nearly lost him there. There was only about 6 satellites, and I pushed him away thinking he'd be okay, and then it stopped responding. So I hit automatic home, and it didn't respond. I took about, you know, as close to the edge as I could forwards, step forwards and readjust the aerials, and just managed to get him back. So I will do some more drone footage, but probably a little further down. You see the look like little toy villages down there below, little toy houses in the distance down in the bottom of the valley. Amazing. Okay, and we're off on our way down again. Time to wear our brakes out. It's a long descent, batteries off. So hopefully they'll get time to sort of replenish themselves a little bit, give them a rest just for that final kilometre back to the motorhome, which to be honest isn't a huge incline. Gracias. everybody. Huge dogs to guard the sheep and that. Like I say, against the wolves, there's around 2,000 wolves up in the mountains here. Okay, let's go and see if we can catch Speedy up. Oh, I can see in the distance there, she looks like she's stopped to realize I'm not with her and waiting. It's a cattle grid, so we're now leaving cattle heaven. Roger, minds. Okay, you tell we're getting a bit lower now, the landscape's changing a bit. Sort of, you know, the vegetation and that is changing. We're starting to get the bracken back and the loads of blackberry bushes here. Can't help thinking it still reminds me of Derbyshire, you know, it's very much like, you know, when I used to go hiking in Derbyshire and camping. Very similar in a lot of ways. Okay, and up here we're passing again on the right here, which I would say is only really fit for walking. The route that we tried to go the other way from and then went back on ourselves with the steer to our right. So it looks like our hopes were in vain for the actual batches recovering. We're still just on one bar still as we've come to the bottom of the main road here. Anyway, it should be enough just to get us that kilometre back. All clear? Okay. Just like to say, you know, Anthea's bicycle change has transformed it for her. The original bike which I built for and modified twice, named Wilma, was a great bike, and it served our purposes when we first started cycling. But it soon, you know, wasn't up to the job when we come to trails like that. It was it started as a 250 watt, then it was a 500 watt, and it still wasn't up to it. Building this new bike for Anthea has transformed it for her, made it a lot more enjoyable for her, and a lot less stressful for both of us, because we were constantly worrying about, you know, battery worries, is the battery going to, you know, make it to the end? And she was having to put, you know, a lot more into it than I did, and it was making it less enjoyable for her. So yeah, one of the main benefits on this holiday about the bike rides is Anthea's new bike pebbles, which has been great, and has probably exceeded expectations. It's been really good. And we're back. All done. Okay, so that brings us back to the end of our video. Made it back in one piece. Car park considerably busier than when we left. What I'm going to do is I'll leave you down in the description down below an actual Google Maps pin for the start of this trip, and I think I've probably got the Wikiloc to record as well, so I'll actually put that route map on there as well. So I think all that remains is to thank you for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.